Hi everybody, it's Lace, and as you guys know or may not know, about once a month, Prism and Diamond Fields, Prism aka my guild, Diamond Fields one of my POTs, which some people from Prism live in and many people from other guilds live in. We do a crafting mentoring event once a month. Um, and what this is, there's a lot of newer players coming into the game and eventually even more newer players. And so I just kind of want to reiterate exactly what crafting mentoring means or mentoring in general. So perhaps one of the best ways to explain it, you can see I'm in a group and I'm in a group with several people and you can see this little thing here and it shows the things that they're grandmaster in. And when you're grouped with somebody and in a certain range, this is an area of effect kind of thing, think of it that way. When you're grouped with them, 10% more XP gets sucked into every combine or every, like if you're doing skills and hunting, every strike or whatever you're doing, 10% more from your pool gets sucked in. So you've got to have a pool, first of all, but then secondly, it's just going to allow you to do less combines, and I'm mostly going to speak from the crafting world, but it also applies to the hunting world. Less strikes to level something up, provided you have an XP pool going on. And there's lots of min maxers that have looked at things like, for example, for in the crafting world, they're like, it takes gotta have 6 million in your pool to even just think about doing it. Me, I didn't exactly approach it that way because nobody had min max it versus test server versus this. For me, I didn't really have anybody teaching me or mentoring me, and but why I do it now is like, hey, if I can save you, like let's take for example armor enchanting or weapon enchanting and the enchanting subs. Oh, good gravy. I think Sarah Dragon was the one that said it was like 38,000 ores. If I can save you 10% of that, that's 4,000 ores. That's that's a lot of that's 1,000 ingots by you just doing it all under mentoring under me. That's going to save you a ton of cash just to get up to GM. And you're going to say, well, why would you do that? I would be a direct competitor to you. Well, because this game, because of the way the economies are spread out and who knows who and who buys from whom, it's very spread out. There's no national market board. If there was a national, let's say, a place to buy things and you'd find it for the cheapest amount for whatever it is you're buying, yeah, maybe I might not be so inclined. But because, like they said, they want to promote diverse economies, your customers are probably over here in X, my customers in Y, and there's no reason for me not to teach you as well. So I have no problem teaching other people. And secondly, when you're looking at skills to get the maximum benefit on most of them, and then I'm talking again in crafting, some of that max is going to come from about 98 in that skill, not 100. 98 in enchanting, 98 in say masterworks and stuff that are going to open up additional opportunities or enchantments or masterwork things you can apply that nobody else below that can apply. The reason I go to 100 is because at 100 now I can teach. So while everybody thinks 100 is, ooh, it's some kind of number, it's really just the number at which you can teach. At about 98 in crafting, you can get the max benefit. Now, that's not to say that if I didn't go to 130, that, if I did a major strength enchant, I don't know what the numbers are off my head. Let's say on the first try, it's a 3.1 at 100, and at 130, it might be a 3.2, 3.3. Yes, you can get more because about every 10 levels in enchantments and stuff, there's a little tick to that point whatever. It's not necessarily a point 1, but it does go up. So somebody that's 130 is obviously going to be better than me at a 100. I've stopped at 100 because 100 I could teach, and that was the whole goal of this. And so that's kind of where I'm coming from. Now, looking at this from, let's say, a hunter perspective, what has to happen is you have to be grouped with somebody. Let's say you want to, get your heals up or something. This can be accomplished a couple different ways. One, you can follow a hunter around and just keep healing him, and the XP from the kills that he's making is going to apply to you. You're going to pull some of that in, and then as you're healing him, you're going to apply that XP to whatever skills you're using to raise them, provided you have them turned on to train. In addition, let's say you're trying to go behind somebody that was, I don't know, a pole arm guy, and he's going out and killing everything with pole arms. Well, if you're training under him and you're trying to raise your pole arms, again, if you have a good XP pull under him, you're not just sucking. You kind of guys got to divide it. So you're kind of sucking his experience in. So he has to be willing to do that. But if you've gained a big enough pull, you can also just help level yourself up more to be more effective to help him kill, and you both together will kill far faster. Now, a lot of people will group with somebody, say, who's a, polearm GM, and I'm just picking something in random. It could be life, death, air, whatever. They will group with somebody, who's GMing in that, and they will have built up their pull and pull out a gust ball and beat it to death and stuff to raise their skills, or a practice dummy or something like that. That works too. But to me, using a gust ball or practice dummy means you're only spending experience, you're never gaining it. But also, on the other hand, is finding somebody willing to split the experience with you in a group, and you guys go out there together and you're both getting XP from each kill, but you now are also training under them. It's not costing him any XP, but you're just training a little faster than he could have when he did it solo. So that's kind of the thing about Grandmaster and mentoring, is your Grandmaster probably had to do it on their own, nobody helping them, at least right now in the game. As the game ages, it'll be different. But you are basically learning from their knowledge, and you should be thankful. And I don't mean that in like a, oh my God, you should tip me or some craziness like that. I'm just saying that, people that do that, you should respect them and, just give them a wave and stuff. People that say, hey, you go out in a blind hunting group and go do something, and one of the PvE nights that various guilds host, and somebody's training you in something you really wanted to advance in, they are so helping you out and helping you to advance faster. Now, in the crafting world, oh my God, you should just really kowtow and really salute them, because they just saved you a butt ton of materials, and that is a real word, butt ton, a butt ton of materials and fuel and everything else. It's absolutely economically to your advantage to train under someone who is a GM opposed to doing it yourself. I hear these statements from new players that I've talked to, like, well, I want to do it on myself. I'm like, okay, go for it, buddy. Yeah, I did it too. But if someone's willing to help you out, man, don't think you're cheating the game. We're there and we're offering the service to help you out, because we know how hard it was. And man, take the crafting mentoring events, folks. Don't be so stoic as, I'm gonna do it all by myself. Oof. Yeah, sure, you can do that. Everybody says, oh my God, you did all this so fast. No, it was damn near a year, and I gotta work too and stuff. If you're not working, sure, I'm sure you could do it way faster and unmentored. But if you're mentored, yeah, you can hit my same peak that I've leveled myself off to very quickly, mentoring under me. And once again, I do this once a month, that I offer mine. There's plenty of other people in guilds, I'm sure, that do the same thing. But we started it, and I'm just gonna say, I'm the originator. So again, just to reiterate, if somebody offers to mentor you, take it. Don't be stoic and go, I'm going to do it on my own. Take it, because it's really just going to help you. Sure, you'll be a direct competitor, but you know what? Just take it. Do it. Come out to our monthly crafting events, mentoring. Um, Sometimes we get some people with like 100 GMs, and I'm not one of those people, but they have the hunting GMs as well as the crafting. We don't have a practice dummy set up on this exact lot because this is a crafting pavilion, and I would have to remove one of my vendors, and that's not going to happen. Um, but there are several people in the row house area that have practice dummies. I think there's one over here. I have one set up back behind these row houses. I think the range is a little bit limited. And I think also with practice dummies, like there's one right there, I think the person that owns the practice dummy has to be logged in. We can see what we can do to try to coordinate that. But again, most of our events are crafting based. We're not trying to reach all segments. So this is a shout out to some of you bigger guilds, because we're a very tiny guild. This is a shout out to some of you bigger guilds, is set up a practice dummy, call in all these Grandmaster GM Hunter folks, and call in all the folks that have, I've got 5 million hunting experience, I want to blow it. And instead of them sitting alone blowing it on a gust ball, bring in your mentors. Have them grouped with these people like this and help them out. This is a call out to you. I can only, do the crafting mentoring. I can do pole arms, and that's about it. But I know there's plenty of guilds, plenty of folks that are looking for things to try to get exposure and showcase their guilds and the players in their guilds and how uber they are. So I'm just going to suggest put a training dummy up on the lot, call everybody to the lot that has built up their pool, get your grandmasters in there, and let people beat on the training dummy and train. It's kind of the same concept that we do every month with our crafting, except crafting costs a ton of money, and hunting doesn't cost any money when you're GMing it. It only gains you money. Crafting costs you money every time. So anyway, this was just a little thing about GMing, grandmastering, and what it really means. People try to put some kind of prestige points that, oh, I've got 57 GMs. Well, it depends on what those 57 GMs are and what they mean, and how useful they are to you is only how important that person is to you. So look for GM crafting events like we host mostly monthly, or look for others to, I did one once for a polearm. It was a mediocre response, but now I'm calling out the guilds that have, hundreds of players as opposed to my little tiny guild. You guys should host a GM training event for hunting where one of your people that has, 100 GMs stands there, invites the group, and folks beat on a practice dummy if they've pulled up enough XP. So, anyway, that's just kind of what I wanted to cover. GM doesn't mean you're so uber, it means you're willing to teach. And it should be thought about that way. Not, ooh, look at me. It should be, I'm willing to teach now, rather than locking it at 80 or 90 or 98 or whatever. So, just some thoughts, some random thoughts from me. Take care, everybody. Happy hunting, and be safe.